If my kids have been fighting, I'll usually stop and ask them, okay, what happened? If your kids are like mine, you probably have at least one kid that will just stop and take a deep breath and respond with something like, well, I suppose it all started 3 days ago, and then they'll start to tell you this long and moving story of tribulation and trials and glory, and if you're like me, you'll probably say something like, hold it. Someone just yelled that we need an ambulance, and I'm interested in what just happened, not your whole life story. See, our kids, they often just need some guidance in knowing where to focus as they begin to share what exactly happened. Now, I often have the same experience studying church history. I'll read something about the Council of Nicaea or the Protestant Reformation, and I'll find that just getting to the bottom of what exactly happened in these long stories starts to feel like untying a huge knot. So we need some guidance in knowing where to focus as we get started, and that's where the historian Mark Knoll's classic book, Turning Points, can be so helpful. Instead of trying to present a massive history of everything, Knoll takes important moments in the history of the church and uses them as a window for teaching church history. And so in this seminar, we'll use the structure of his book, and we'll get started with 2 parts. First, we'll have a conversation on exactly how church history is done, like what kinds of problems we run into when we try to do history and why it's ultimately worth our time. And in part 2, we'll take an in-depth look at our first event that you may not have put into the category of church history, the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70. I hope you'll be able to join us.